All right, greetings. All right, like the lighting is off base, but we're gonna fix that in a minute. Greetings, everyone. It's Professor Grip, and welcome. All right, to Arm the Masses right here on Black Power Media Reloaded. Hold on 1 second. Let me get some light. All right, Black Power Media Reloaded right here with my man Kalaji Chaba Changa. Peace, good bro. I hope all is well with you. Shout out to everyone that's out there. My man D Boyd in the building early in the afternoon. All right. Shout out to everyone that support the platform. Really appreciate that. We got the subscription and the membership coming. All right, probably within the next week or so. All right. So here we got a very interesting show today. Very interesting show. Very interesting show. Actor Malik Yoba will now identify as a non-white man. All right, as a non-white man. All right. As you're processing that, pull some research out. Give me some information. All right. As we prepare to have this discussion, let's not try to just come off the top of our heads. Let's just at least say, okay, well, let me just get a better and a deeper understanding where the man is coming from. All right. In the meantime, between time, let's see where you're coming from and where you're checking in from. As always, my man Gerald, what's good with you? Gary's Garage, what's happening, man? All right, Antoinette Johnson, peace. I clicked on so fast, I got to hear this. Okay. Thank you, Antoinette Johnson. Corey Scott, what's good with you? From the Shy. All right. That's what Neely Fuller was teaching. Money Mike, what was he teaching? What do you mean? I get that. Cheryl Knight from the DMV. All right. Who do we have on IG that's checking in? From Roxbury. Mona from Boston. Roxbury. All right. You just said The Rock. We good. We got you. We familiar with it. All right. Mona, salam. What's good with you? Professor, thank you. Especially right now today. Give thanks. All right, to all my Muslim brothers and sisters. All right. Ramadan Mubarak. All right. Assalamu alaikum. To all my brothers and sisters out there that's striving to get back to themselves. And they're on that journey back to the self. As it is taught, the journey of the self to the self, back to the self. All right. Let's keep these things in mind. All right. Let's approach these subjects, I don't know, with a little bit more, less of what we think we know and pounding our chests, blah, 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 rah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Less condemnation, less attacking, less positioning ourselves to cancel someone, less of all that and more of, I understand it. I get it now. I got the lesson, Griff. All right. Can we do that? All right. Salute, Azim. Peace. What's good with you, man? All right. So yeah. So now that doesn't negate the fact that we're actually going to tell the truth. As Malcolm said, you throw a rock in a crowd of dogs, only one that hollers the one that get hit. So I'm saying to you, no, we still have to tell the truth now. Don't ever get that twisted. All right. Anyway, in the meantime, between time. All right. Everyone make a mental note of this real quick so we can dive into this subject. April 12th, mark the date. All right. Open house. The Goddess Temple of Love. It's going to be a soft opening in Douglasville, Georgia. Soleil's opening up her temple. Of course, you can go next week and check on DeviTribeWellness.com. That's DeviTribeWellness.com. DeviTribeWellness.com. and you can see all the events that's going down that day. And of course, you have to register. All right. Anyone that's coming to the Soul Ohm listening party is going to be at 5 o'clock. And I will put the address and the address out there. The date is 4/12, Douglasville, Georgia. Mark the date. Come check out the band. Come listen to the sounds. Come participate. Register online at Dairy Tribe Wellness to all of the things that Soleil is doing out there at this wellness temple, this guidance temple. All right, mainly centered around the sisters, around the women, around healing. And of course, once a month, my thing that's going to be out there with Warriors in the Garden. And at this particular location, it is a garden. That's not the garden that we're talking about. Warriors in the Garden. All right, so brothers, yes, you're going to have to register. Yes, you're going to have to become a member. Yes, we're going to do this thing right, where we're going to bring our sons, bring our instruments, bring our spirit, bring our energy, bring our healers. All right, and we got to form those men's circles, those brotherhood circles, those drumming circles, because we are going to start the process of healing. All right. I'm not saying you haven't already started the process, but all right. Anyway, in the meantime, between time, Dr. Malik Yoba now identifies. Malik Yoba now, he said he will identify as non. Whoa. Malik Yoba says he will now identify as non-white man. So if we could just take a second, let's kind of unpack that for a second. I forget the name of the show that I used to watch Malik Yoba on. I believe it was a cop show. Please don't hold me to that. I just cannot really remember right now off that. All right, but hold on. Let me see. Malik Yoba. All right. All right. Let's pull up Malik Yoba in real time, and let's just see what Malik Yoba is actually talking about. It says actor Malik Yoba says he will now identify as a non-white man to expose racial bias. All right, so everyone in the chat, please do me a favor. What is racial bias? All right, what is bias, and then what is racial bias? All right, I'm going to circle back around to you in a second. Dr. Malik Yoba has sparked a conversation over the weekend with his latest declaration on racial identity in America. In a video explanation via Instagram, Yoba announced that he is no longer identified as a black man, rejecting commonly used terms like BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Okay. Instead, he proposes a new approach, identifying simply as non-white. Just simply as non-white. Okay. All right. Let me just put that on the screen so everyone can see that. So I can. No, not me. So we. All right. So let me get this right. And let me kind of, well, maybe everyone can help me unpack it. Let's define bias. Let's define racial bias. And then now let's define racism, white supremacy. All right. So give me a second, fam. So this whole idea of racial bias. All right. Dexter Robinson, you said Neely Fuller Neely Fuller's famous quote comes to mind right about now. Give me his quote. All right. Racism is the belief that groups of humans possess different behavioral traits corresponding to inherited attributes and can be divided based on superiority of one race or ethnicity over another. Bruce Lee, we humbly say to you that that is a C or D answer. That is a C or D answer. Racism, white supremacy is way beyond a belief. All right? Okay. Once again, I don't know where you're getting the same definition from. Mrs. Moore, that's a C answer. Dig deeper. Come on. Challenging everyone to dig deeper. All right. Racial bias refers to favoring or providing preferential treatment to members of one racial group or over another. What is bias? Just give me the term bias. All right. What is bias? Okay. So Dexter doubles back on us. Dexter Robinson says, Neely Fuller's, a Neely Fuller quote is, if you do not understand racism, which is white supremacy, everything you understand will only confuse you. All right. Can I add on to that, Dexter? I think in order for us to process that with the mindset that we have today, but let's reframe it. If you do not understand racism, white supremacy, because racism is white supremacy, then everything, underline this word, you think, in capital bold font, think you understand will only confuse you. Because if you understood it, you wouldn't be confused. So I think it should say, think you understand. All right? Okay. I don't know what that is, Cheryl Knight. You got to rewrite that. I don't even know what that is. Help me out. So if we're talking about bias, if we talk about the preferential treatment of one group over another, all right, based on, I guess, skin complexion, or based on, quote unquote, race or race construct, which was constructed, all right, by people that are not black, brown, red, or yellow. All right, I guess I can say it that way. All right. Okay. All right. So now, if we was to go back to what Malik Yoba has said, he had sparked a conversation over the weekend with his latest declaration. What was his previous declaration? Was Malik Yoba's previous declaration something other than what we are having in this conversation today? All right. So hold on. We're going to unpack it slowly. Unpacking it. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Let's get the definition of racism, white supremacy from Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, the now ancestor that gave us this monumental work, the ISIS Papers. Let's go there first, all right, so we can build this conversation. Is that possible? Is that fine? All right, here we go.
My definition of racism is as follows. Racism, white supremacy, is the local and global power system and dynamic, structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously determined, which consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response, as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, for the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation on planet Earth, a planet upon which the vast and overwhelming majority of people are classified as non-white, meaning black, brown, red, and yellow, by white-skinned people, and all of the non-white people are genetically dominant in terms of skin coloration compared to the genetic recessive white-skinned people. So that's my definition of racism, white supremacy.
All right. That is Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's definition of racism, white supremacy. If you have another definition, all right, of racism, white supremacy, but by all means, family, please put it in the comment so we can see it. For 40 years, she's been challenging us to come up with a better definition, all right? And even in some of the work that other people have done based on her work and her work with her comrade, Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., she even quotes Dr. Neely Jr. Fuller, and it says, if you do not understand white supremacy, racism, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. All right, that was back in 1969. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing went on. All right, hold on for a second. Man. She went on to write the book The ISIS Papers. All right, the keys to the colors. All right. If you do not have this information that I'm presenting to you today, please, please, please take my phone number down. Text me. I will send you a link. Email me. Let's do a mutual exchange. All right. Because I do have to take time and do more research to send you the information that goes a little bit deeper. All right. And get you the information. Please donate to the platform. A mutual, beneficial, mutual exchange. It has to be mutually beneficial. All right. All right. I'm going to put my phone number in the chat. Do not text me now. Text GRIFF for info. All right. All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Moore. Really appreciate that. All right. So now, if we was to dive just a little bit deeper, I think it would only be fair that if we went in real time and we went and just tracked down what Malik Yoba said himself in real time. Here we go. I think I can do it in real time. Hold on. Malik. Says he is non-white. Non-white can mean a lot of different things. Let me see. Let me see. Here we go. All right. Can we just kind of unpack that for 1 second, family? Just so if you identify as a non-white man, what are some of the things that fall up under that title, non-white man? Help me out, family. What? Somebody said Malik Yogurt. Crazy. So why y'all gonna do that to me? R.L. Laverne, thank you, bro, but y'all are killing me. All right. I do have brain tonic left. Yes, I have brain tonic. So, family, if y'all want the brain tonic, you got to go to Devi Tribe Wellness. All right. Brandon Scott, you got to go to Devi Tribe Wellness. www.devitridewellness.com. All right, here we go. All right, so fam. All right. So what are some of the things that fall under non-white? Can we do that? What are some of the things that fall under non-white? Non-white. So if we're talking non-white, then what are we? Antoinette Johnson said black. But you got some people, Antoinette Johnson, that even claim that they're not black. So what I'm saying, thanks for answering the question, though. So if you're non-white, right, then you are black. What else? Non-white. He wants to identify as non-white. Indigenous. Cheryl Knight, according to him, let me go back, Mr. Knight. He says after Malik Yoba has sparked a conversation over the weekend with his latest declaration on racial identity in America. In a video explanation via Instagram, listen close, Ms. Knight, Yoba announced that he will no longer identify as a black man, rejecting here's what we need to underline, Ms. Knight. Use terms such as BIPOC, black, indigenous, and people of color. So he's no longer using those terms. All right? So Ernie says you're either black, white, Asian, Hispanic, or other alien. Okay. Ms. Johnson comes back and says we're aboriginal. What is ab-original, Ms. Johnson? If you're original, then what is the ab before original? So what is ab-original? We're going to wait on your definition, Ms. Johnson. Y'all have tuned in to Arm the Masses. All right, if you're watching this, it may fall up under the banner of Serious Minds. All right, this is Serious Minds that attract serious minds seriously. So I am going to challenge you. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm not being disrespectful. I want to be able to pull out the best in us. So let's define some of these things. Ms. Johnson, you said ab-original. What is the ab for original? Taylor, Nubia, peace. All right. Okay, we have something new, the gold race. I don't know what that is, but I guess we're the gold race people. All right. The prefix ab means away from. So it's away from the original? Is what you think Ms. Johnson is saying? I don't think so. All right. While you're putting those things up, I'm still trying to figure out what the gold race is, but I'm working on it. I'm not the smartest one in the room. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know what that is, bro. I want to hear what Malik Yoba had to say. No, we're not talking about how he's attracted to trans. That was so Malik Yoba was basically saying, now this is the Malik Yoba of 5 years ago, I believe, that if you're attracted to the soul of an individual, then why would you come now 5 years later and say that you're not going to identify as a black man, but yet you're going to identify as non-white? I thought you was attracted to the soul. What does the complexion, the race, or anything else has to do with it? If you are attracted to trans people, which is a man, let me see if I can get my understanding of it right. A trans person dressing, a man dressing up as a woman is still a man. So you're attracted to men, basically. But now this goes way beyond the soul, though. And I'm just trying to grasp and get an understanding of how this thing kind of works. If y'all could kind of work with me and help me out. All right. So moving from that conversation, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. If he says that he is it's confusing. Okay, we're not going to talk about it. But he is basically saying that he is going to be, he wants to be identified as, he's going to identify himself as non-white. So non-white would be what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said in her definition of racism and white supremacy would be black, brown, red, yellow people. Okay, if that's the case, is it the terminology that bothers you? The term black or the term indigenous or the term original or the term, help me out, family. I'm just confused with that part and I'm asking you guys. All right. I'm not coming on here as the best knower. I'm facilitating a conversation. All right. As he did. All right. Now, with that said, I'm going to put the link into the chat, but I'm going to say this. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we are the original people. All right. Behind him, Clarence 13X Smith, the father. Behind him, Public Enemy, Brand Nubian, Queen Latifah, Poor Righteous Teachers, King's Son, Lakim Shabazz, all the other ones that came along and said it, not only in music, but all the Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Ivan Van Sertima. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. Ishaka Musa, Barry Shango. I mean, I could go on. Shashi McIntyre. Yeah, I could go on. All of our elders, some now ancestors, have said this. We are not confused about we being the original people. All right. It was a big brother of mine. It says not what you're called is what you respond to. So you're not going to identify as, I guess, whatever they want you to identify, whatever is under that category. Why can't you just identify as the original people? If I had to identify anything, in this world's life that I live in presently, yeah, why can't I identify as God? Some Christians and some other religious folks are sitting back saying that's blasphemy. Some Muslims are sitting back like, stop Allah. What's wrong with that? I want to identify God, whether it's Great Oracle dialects or whatever. What's wrong with that? And then if I had to back that up, it says in the scripture, in which y'all already know, I don't get into the religious debate, but the scripture says, ye are all God's children of the Most High God. So I want to identify God. He wants to identify as non-white, which, whatever that is, and you're attracted to the souls. All right, that's cool. I got you. We're not going to dive into that religious conversation, but we still need to talk. We still need to be respectful to one another enough to at least have an open conversation, not an open debate, not arguing, not getting angry, mad, and throwing rocks and stones and threatening and calling names, which is childish. I'm saying to you, why can't we have a real open conversation about it? Okay. So, if Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, let me put her book up so you can see it. So, in case you want to request the information, the ISIS papers. Dr. Welsing. Let's put an image of the book up. All right, this is a picture of her book, The ISIS Papers, Keys to the Colors, by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. All right. You should have it. It should be on your bookshelf right now. All right. Come on, fam. How many times have I presented this now elder's work? All right. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, The Keys to the Colors. All right. Okay. So inside of her book, she talks about it, along with information that her and her comrade Neely Fuller Jr. has put down for over 40 some odd years. Why is it, I'm asking a question now, why is it that in this day and age, right now, we are still confused? That when we hear conversations from people like Malik Yoba, we are still confused about who we are as a people. And we constantly allow other people to define who we are. We should not, and I know this is going to be a double negative. I'm searching for the word in my brain right now. We shouldn't allow other people to define who we are. This is self-determination. We have to determine who we are. DEI is not going to determine who we are and define us. No job application, no census report, no critical race theory, no pseudo-intellectual coming along who have robbed us of a name, language, culture, God, and religion is going to come along and define who we are as a people. Elijah Muhammad gave it to us. We are the original people. And when they came up with the race construct, they constructed this whole idea of race and they put themselves at the top. Everyone else was savages and monkeys and all these other things. And then they went out throughout the world, conquered everyone, raping and robbing and stealing people's history, rewriting it to write you in, because sooner or later they knew one day you were going to wake up. This is that day, fam. This is that day. There In any given time that I've been on the planet, there's not been a time that black men and women and others have been awake. This is that time. There are a lot of people that are just waking up and that have been awakened, which gave us the term woke. They even have taken that and bastardized that and did all kind of madness to that. All right? There's not been a time. This is that time. This is why they're attacking you the way they're attacking you, simply because they see that you're awake. Why else would they attack you? Well, there's several reasons I could give you, but for right now and for this conversation, they're attacking us because black people are becoming awake and aware. We have their plan, their blueprint, and we have ours from our elders and now ancestors like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Neely Fuller, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, other people. We have our blueprint. All right? So when we hear people like Malik Yoba talking about he wants to identify, well, let's get something straight from the rip. Malik Yoba can identify as a plant, a rock, or whatever. He can go after souls. He can just be attracted to transgender souls and partners with penises and whatever else he wants to claim he could. That's your thing, bro. Do you? Do you? Do you? And why is this even a story? Yeah. I asked Professor Griff yesterday why this is even a story that I dove into, and I'm like, come on, bro. I said, are you serious? There are people, young people, that are in the field that Malik Yoba is in, the fields. Because I think he admitted at one time he does a one-man show, and he's 15 characters in that show. Half of the characters that he kind of transforms into in his one-man show, half of them are women. So he's an old Jamaican woman, old Jewish woman. He's a transgender woman. He's a white woman, Italian white woman. He's all of these things. All right. And for the sake of art, he's basically saying, why should he be pigeonholed and only playing roles that are for black men? So I'm saying that there's nothing wrong with me getting a role in a film to act like I'm an accountant. I'm a lawyer. I might even play a thug, whatever, a mailman or whatever. But for me to go on the big screen or the small screen, and I am playing a woman all the time, that is very problematic. And then to turn around and say I'm attracted to only the soul of the individual, but I'm attracted to transgenders. Then to turn around and say I'm identifying as a non-white man, so I can quail this whole idea of racial bias, in which that doesn't quail or neutralize the idea of racial bias. You're showing up and you're adding to the problem, because what you're doing now, white men, in choosing white men for white roles, and you're in the room, it lends to a certain degree of quote unquote discrimination, Malik Yoba. And if that's what you're going for, then you do you, bro. But I am speaking not only for Professor Griff, I am speaking in behalf of our people. We are proud black men, and we're going to own that. All right? I am the original man, the maker, the owner. And I can say, yes, we're the cream of the planet Earth. And yes, we are gods of the universe. I'm owning that, and I'm claiming that for black men. And in this day and time, we are going to stand up as black men. And we're going to take accountability, and we're going to be responsible for being the original people. As the original man, I am responsible for all the other people on the planet to a degree. Thank you. No, I am a black man. And everything else that comes under that. If you want to say indigenous, I am that too. If you want to come and you make a mistake and say I'm Ab original, okay, I'll take that. If you want to come and say I'm native, I'll take that. I'll take all of that. Yep, I want some of all of that. Put some all of that in the bag. Yeah, sprinkle some of that on my veggie burger. Yeah, I'm taking all of that. All right, because we gave birth to all of that. All right, at the same time giving birth to that, they tried to destroy who we really are. All right, this is why it's imperative to read the ISIS papers, to study it, to get in circles of men and women and study groups, all right, in order to take what our ancestors gave us and piece it apart. All right, this is not some lightweight work here. All right, they are trying to put every legislation in place now to destroy black people. All right, they're putting something in place now that's creating these gender wars. I'm not ever going to get on stage, all right, and debate black women in the audience about what they are and what they are not. That's not up for debate. You are the goddesses of this thing. You are the queens of this thing. All right? So I'm seeing a lot of these gender wars going on, and men who think they're cute, acting a little bit too, sassy for me on stage, calling women out. I guess from a religious Christian perspective, I'm not sure. Women stepping up to the microphone half dressed, half naked. Yeah, we got to stop that. That's not going to advance who we are as a people. It's not. Not at all. So we are going to stand on what our ancestors gave us. We're going to stand on Message to the Black Man. We're going to stand on Neely Fuller Jr.'s work we affectionately call the Code, the compensatory code. We're going to stand on the ISIS papers. All right? And all of those are ancestors. We're going to stand on the recent work that our people have done. We're going to stand on Joy DeGroove's work. All right? We're going to stand on the work. We're going to stand on Professor Griff's work in Warriors Tapestry, because we are the warriors. That war, the propensity to become a warrior and to ignite that thing in you is just laying dormant. We need to put something in place that's going to activate that. All right? Right now, and we need to talk about this in a whole show. What are they doing with melanin? Studying melanin. If they hate blacks so much, why are they trying to put melanin in tablets and in cream and all this other kind of stuff? Why are they trying to quote unquote act black? All right. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to put the link, the invite back in the chat to see what you have to say about it. All right. And I'll be honest with you, everywhere I go, and this is not the subject for today, but I'm just saying this. Everywhere I go, I'm looking at mixed couples. Like, maybe I need to do a deeper research on, unlike attract and unlike repel. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about melanin, and we need to talk about the unlike attract and unlike repel. Charles Wilson, you're right. They know who we are. The thing about that, Charles Wilson, is some of us don't know who we really truly are. All right? Some of us don't know who we are. Some of us merely look at this melanin as just skin pigmentation. Family, it is a whole lot deeper than that. Look at this melanin. Really, you gotta turn your computer down. Family, it is a whole lot. You gotta turn it down. Look at this melanin. You gotta turn it. Carl, you gotta turn it down, bro. All right, talk to me, Carl. How you feel, good bro?
All right, man. Bro, you speaking true facts though, man. And it's a pleasure really to speak to you. Um in the beginning, man, if I could go all the way back to 2000 before this internet thing really took off, you know what I'm saying, was one of the brothers who was stayed on our minds. You know what I'm saying? Today, a lot of us are confused though. Like I'm damn near, excuse my language, I'm almost 50. And I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on in the world. I've taken a step back from reality for a long time, and now I'm just entering into uh or the world for a long time. Now I'm just entering into this new world, and I'm realizing that the world is transitioning into something, and I think it's just the fit. That's why I love you so much, bro, in your work, because you talk about being a warrior, and that's what we have to be. We have to be spiritual warriors. We have to know
Right.
that you know the battle is not like the Bible says, it's not with the it's not with the flesh, but it's with the spiritual wickedness. And these things have happened before. You
Right.
know what
Right.
I mean? And we just got to stay vigilant and understanding and knowledge and equip ourselves the best we can, because like I'm not a person to vote, but I had a conversation one time, and I told the young person, I said, why they didn't want Trump in office, and I said, like, yo, like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you take the best competition? He the best competition for us right now. He's making it so we really have to arm ourselves with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and brotherhood and love in order for us to make it through this.
Can I
And
say
that's
something
what,
to that real quick?
yes, sir.
He was in office before and we didn't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So this idea of let's press the pause button for a minute, good bro, because I love
Yes,
you
sir.
too.
Thank you, bro.
When we even take on this whole idea of voting, do you realize what we're doing? What you're actually saying right now? You are going in a black box, which is deeper than what we could talk about right now. You're
Right.
signing your energy, your spirit, your resources away for another man to rule over you.
That's why
So
I never. That's why.
why would anyone vote to do that? I'm not signing these things away for someone to rule over me. That's what you're
Yeah.
doing when you quote unquote vote. You are actually signing away all of these things and you're putting it in the hands of someone else to have rulership over you when you vote. Come on, bro. I know you smarter than that.
True indeed, brother. I am, and you're exactly right. And so I definitely didn't agree with it. I just feel like our ancestors felt. I mean, you know, I have kind of like I have a militant mind, just to be real. And I always question our ancestors a lot of time, like, yo, just like, why y'all didn't just kill them, just rid them off of this earth? They made the whole thing bad. Like, why y'all didn't kill them?
Well, it's
And the
easy to
question,
say that it's easy to say that in hindsight. You understand what I'm saying? Because 30 years, 40, 50 years from now, they might say that about you and I. Why didn't y'all just go? You know, so yeah, but hold on one second. Let me bring on Ben Frank, man, because he Ben Frank. You understand what I'm saying? I'm
Peace,
just saying.
Professor.
Now
Salute.
we got to have you on the screen, bro. We can't do the avatar. Yeah, thank me. We got to see you. How you feel, good bro?
All is well.
You good?
Peace and blessings.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
peace.
Salute.
What would you like to say to add to the conversation, man? We building.
I mean, you know, we always be with you, brother, and I definitely admire and appreciate everything. First and foremost, um, we know the struggle continues,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's a status issue, man. You know,
Is
what
it
we dealing
status?
with is, you know, how they trying to play. I mean, he's also a political pawn. You know, to use census wise. You know, the
Okay.
census is we, huh?
No, I'm listening. Go on.
Yeah, it's mathematics. You know, they're using the census as far to further whatever agendas or programs they got through the state or the government. So you know what I'm saying? They're trying to confuse us to you know, always have us as the minority. So we don't get our hands in the pot.
Okay, so is
I
there
mean,
anything wrong? Anything wrong with creating our own pot?
oh, I
If there's
love it.
other
We
people,
need to create. We have to.
okay, so there's other people in America that don't wait around to see who the president is going to be. The president is going to be. There's some other
Right. It's
people that are
irrelevant.
self-sufficient. They have an infrastructure. They have a built-in economy. They circulate their dollars. They have a certain degree of trust. All right, they rally
Yeah.
together for each other's causes. So we don't necessarily have to eat out of somebody else's pot, because look at it this
Yeah.
way. And this was dropped on me this morning. It just reinforced what I already knew. If I have a plate of food, right, and
Yeah.
I invite you two brothers to come eat out of my plate, but y'all left me enough so I can survive and get nourished, is that hurting me?
Right.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not hurting me. So then if y'all duplicate that, all of us can eat, right or wrong?
True indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that has to be our plate. You're not going to eat off somebody else's plate and you're not going to get angry. First of all, they don't want you on the planet.
That part. Right.
Imitated by your melanin and your God essence, because they know who you are. And as
Right.
Vanity Johnson said, ab original is meaning from the beginning. If we're from the beginning, you understand, we the original people, then no one understand that. I don't understand that. These are some Johnny come lately people.
Right.
That their nature is rape, murder, lying, cheating, stealing, devilishment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only to confuse us. This brings us to today with Malik Yoba saying, I'm only going to identify a non-white man because he think white people are winning on the other side of the chessboard. So he want to switch sides and going over there.
Yeah, I think that's like
blood clot crying.
public. That's I mean, now I respect the brother. I probably didn't miss an episode of New York Undercover, but I think that's a promotion thing, like a public
Yeah, that's an escape.
publicity thing. Is he?
Yeah, and it's
I
weird because
don't.
he was Jamaican, right? I mean, I met this guy before as a kid, man. You know, and he was my mama had to go out on him. You know what I'm saying? The brother ain't. I don't know. You know, I don't really want to talk about him bad, man, but he wasn't stand up at that time.
Well,
You know
my
what I'm
thing
saying?
is,
So I ain't surprised with nothing he's doing.
we're not talking about him. We're just clearing up some things. Y'all ever heard of a brother by the name of James Brown?
Yes, sir.
He said, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. But he made a couple of other songs, and one of them other songs that he made was called Escapism. That's exactly what this is. In order for me not to take my duty and responsibility and accountability on my shoulders, I'd rather say I'm just somebody else. I ain't black. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not identifying with any of those things. I'd rather just be a non-white man, and I'm attracted to transgender souls. That's escapism, bro. That's escapism.
Exactly.
True indeed. You're absolutely right, man.
You understand? You on the chessboard, you playing chess. He said, you know something, I really don't want to play the black side of the chessboard. let me let me just add some checkers into the front.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, I love y'all brothers too much,
Yeah.
man, for me to fake this Professor Griff thing. I gotta be me. You understand what I'm saying? I can't do it. I can't be anybody else.
Sorry.
Word.
Always
Now,
being yourself, man. Always.
yeah, I got somebody else to add on to the conversation. Hold on for a second. Peace, good bro. How you feel? What's your name, man?
All right, it's Cam. You call me Cam Amazing. Love
Cam,
y'all.
amazing. What's up, Cam? Amazing.
Hey, I got a little bit
Yeah.
of information that when the Aboriginal people coming, being given that name is, kind of funny when you think of it like where were they, originally? So why weren't the people in America's given Aboriginal? Why weren't the peoples of Africa given Aboriginal? Why is it only the Australians that, have that name? And a little something about that, like the Australians, they wiped a lot of the history out. We go back to, being the original people at board, you know, it's kind of like a state of hate. Like my brother said, we go look back and be like, why didn't we kill them? It was a hegemonic, it was a hegemonic happening. So somebody took advantage. So if you look, there's always somebody that took advantage of the system, wiped out people that were, necessary to keep the power in their hands. Meanwhile, the other people they made, hey, deal with us, keep dealing with us. Well, what happened to them other people? Nah, they had to get on. We took over the system. So, this is where we're living in today, where all these people from, I'll say, from the European perspective, I'm gonna call them the Tomahawk perspective, is that, they have power. We messed up and let it go. And I'm in Facebook groups talking shit to all these Tomahawk, and they don't have any history. They
Right.
don't have any history. So it's like they're being spoon fed generation after generation after generation. Every time I get into an argument with them, I'm like, look, for anything America is successful for, take out 13%, nigga. Take out 13% of anything America does. Take out 13% and look, because we're only 13% of the population.
That's what
Remove our 13%.
that's what they tell us.
Yeah, they tell us that if they don't have the history, I'll laugh and be like, look, okay, we're 3/5 of a person, or are we a whole person when we do these, per capita things. They want to go with the per capita argument all the time. And it's like, come on, that's not the move. And they don't have the knowledge. We can't be chasing them. They've just been spoon fed information throughout the years. They weren't taught to learn this stuff. Why? Because they would have to give the power back to us.
Yeah, but you know something? If we keep playing by their rules, they got the home court advantage. You understand what I'm saying? If we keep quoting these numbers like 3/5 of a human being kind of thing, we didn't have to deal with that prior to meeting them.
Yeah.
You understand? Then when you say they took the power, well, we never experienced this whole idea of nuclear armament. We never had nukes. We never had atomic weapons like that.
There
So
was
when
no
you
need
say,
for it.
and then we have to keep in mind the local and global power dynamic. So, Paul, you said earlier, why didn't we just take them out? Because we had to go deal with the rest of them on other parts of the planet. You understand what I'm saying? That may pose a problem if you're not a military strategist. You understand what I'm saying? You're familiar with the streets. If you go hit somebody across town, you got to worry about somebody in 5 other cities.
They people coming back to get some get back, and they're
So we
gonna
got
hire
to
some
we got
Cam
we got to think in terms of that. Right, you're right, Cam. We got to think in terms of that.
You know what? As far as our history is concerned, right? Now I'm telling you, like I did some research on you. I used to study your moves when you was with the S1Ws, when you was a Public Enemy and all of that. So I understand, no, for real though. I understand the daily routine of keeping your body in shape and keeping your mind in shape. You know what I'm saying? And many of us have given up on that, and we don't recognize the benefits that come from that. That's why you're able to get up today here and educate a lot of people on things that we find very hard to grasp. Like we cannot understand at all
Well,
because you're
Carl, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm
go ahead.
running out of time, but listen, To all three of y'all brothers, this is why I'm doing Warriors in a Garden. Warriors in a Garden is simply that environment that we create, that we can bring the warriors in and we can have real discussions, man.
Yeah.
We don't want the sisters there in it. We don't want them other people in it. We don't want the other people across the tracks in it. We don't want them other people, funny people in it. Nope. It's going to be warriors coming together because iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. We need to come face to face in love and respect with some damn integrity. We need to have the conversations. And that's what I tend to do before they lower me in the ground for real. We're going to have some warriors in the garden. We're not going to be having this. Our children are not going to be having the same conversation when they get older, bro. We got to do something right now, today, in the spirit of all of those revolutionaries that came before us. What's wrong with that? Where's the gusty man
Not a
voice?
damn thing.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't even hear the man's voice no more.
Man.
Everybody talking cute and sweet and soft, and where's the men? Where's the Malcolms? You understand what I'm saying?
I just had to have that conversation with my 9-year-old. I'm like, look, we gonna cut these video games off because they're making you soft. Like you're not rationalizing like you need to. Why are you speaking in a low manner? I speak to you. I look you in the eyes.
Thank you.
You should do the same to me. And you know, it's like I gotta cut them off from
We got to cut them off from a lot of the music, a lot of the food. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's weakening them. But we're gonna discuss all of that. Some of these conversations, good brother, are not for these other people to hear. It's for us.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we're gonna have these conversations in every city. You understand what I'm saying? And we're gonna make it. I love y'all to life, man. I mean that, and y'all know I mean that because I demonstrate that. Salute, fam.
Salute.
Salute. All right, we'll talk. Give thanks. Thank y'all for coming on. All right.
So,
All right, Black
All right,
Power to y'all.
peace.
Damn amazing. Ben Frank and my man Carl Frazier. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
Well, fam, my hour is up. Conversation was just getting deep. This is something that we have to do. This is something that we're going to do. We're gonna bring the brothers together. All right. We need to have a real conversation. All right. Because that's what them other people are doing. All right. And I'm sorry, sisters. No, I'm not sorry. This is the way it just has to be. Warriors need to get together to have the warrior conversation. And then when we come together with the sisters, y'all will be looking at real men with real conversations that you know and understand is going to take on a real duty and responsibility, especially when it comes to you, sister. This is Professor Griff. I love y'all to life. This is the masses. All right. Peace. Peace, fam. This is Professor Griff, Public Enemy. Of course, you know, the Minister of Information. Right now, my entire sound library on CD-ROM are available to you in an auction. Right now, you will get the Public Enemy sounds that made some of them songs that you love, the hard-hitting beats. We got kicks, we got snares, we got hi-hats, we got beats, we got loops, we got breaks, we got keyboard sounds, guitar sounds, bass sounds, we got scratching, we got sound effects, we got nature sounds, environmental sounds, we got all kind of sounds from different genres, from jazz to neo-soul to R&B, classic, smooth. These are the beats, breaks, and the sounds that made some of them Public Enemy songs. Get it now. Check this out. Don't make beats, make history. Peace. It's Professor Griff. Hit me up, 678-557-2919. Peace.